The dead ball era was the time around 1900 and lasted until the unveiling of Babe Ruth as a power hitter. Ballparks were spacious. West Side Grounds, Chicago was 560 feet to center. Huntington Avenue Grounds, Boston was 635 feet to the center field wall. There were fewer homers, and some of those were inside of the park. More batted balls were in play. Today, triples are 2% of base hits. In dead ball, they were 6%. Teams were faster, with emphasis on stolen bases, bunts, and hit-and-run plays. Baseballs were hard to hit, spitballs legal, and unlike today's use of dozens of balls a game, a few balls were used for each game. Smart pitchers knew how to manipulate the bruised, battered, and scuffed-up spheres. Dead ball. Less power and brute force, more speed and strategy.
Well, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Love the fall colors, the yellows, reds, and greens. But it's in the low 40s out there, kind of cold. Good day to stay in and play APBA baseball. This is game one of the winner's bracket. We have played the two wild card games. The New York Giants in 1912 won their wild card game, and that gave them the right to play today. And they're playing against the 1915 Boston Red Sox in Fenway Park. Here are the starting lineups for New York. They'll lead off with Josh DeVore, center field, Fred Snodgrass in left, Larry Doyle at second, Fred Merkle in first base, John Myers is a catcher, Beals Becker in right field, Buck Herzog is at third base. I have a 9 there. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah. Herzog should be a third. Fletcher's a shortstop, and Rube Marquardt is the pitcher. He's a grade A pitcher with a X and Z modifiers. For the Boston Red Sox, they will lead off with Harry Hooper in right field, Larry Gardner at third base, Tris Speaker at center field, Duffy Lewis in left field, Dick Hoblitzel at first base, Jack Berry at second base, Everett Deacon Scott's the shortstop, Hick Cady's the catcher, and Ernie Shore is the pitcher. And Ernie Shore is a grade AC pitcher with a Z modifier. We're ready to begin. Here's the first pitch of the game. To Josh DeVore, 61, is a foul ball or W. He has a Z modifier, so that's strike one. 61 is a strike two. And did we strike him out the slow way? Here's the pitch. 55 is a 9. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop, Everett Scott. One away. Fred Snodgrass. (6'4) is a 22 on fielding column 2. We're using basic APBA. Both teams are using the second fielding column. That's going to be a ground out to the first baseman, Dick Hoblitzel, who flips to the pitcher, Shore. 3-1, 2 outs. Laughing Larry Doyle, the second baseman. 32 is a ground out to second base, Jack Berry over to Hoblitzel, and that's the third out. Go to the bottom of the first, no score. Harry Hooper will lead off. He was part of that highly regarded outfield of Hooper, Lewis, and Speaker. Here's the pitch from Rube Marquardt, 1-5. That's going to be a leadoff single for Hooper. Fast runner. Nobody out. Larry Gardner, the batter. 1-5 that's going to be another hit. Right center, the runner will go to third. with a chance to steal second on the next pitch. Okay, the catcher for New York is a grade 8 catcher. I use this little chart in basic APBA. He'll have a chance to throw the runner out. He is going to steal. Here's the throw. 11 through 24, he'll be safe. 36, he is safe at second with a stolen base. So second and third, and nobody out. Here is Tris Speaker. Speaker hit 322 in 1915, 345 career. Let's see, what was he? About 348 career hitter. Infield is going to play back. 35 is a 9, and that's going to be a fly out to center field. That is caught by Josh DeVore, but Harry Hooper will be able to tag and score the first run of the game for the Red Sox. 1-0 Boston. Duffy Lewis. 44 is going to be an 8 against the A. That's a ground out to third base. 5-3. The base runner Gardner goes to third. He'll be there with 2 outs. And now Dick Bledsoe. Infield back. 62 is a fly out to right field. And the Red Sox in the first break out on top with 2 hits, 1-0. We go to the top of the second. Fred Merkle will lead off the top of the second for the New York Giants. He was known for Merkle's boner, his mistake in the 1908 season that cost the Giants the pennant. He was playing against the Cubs. It was a tiebreaker game, and the score was tied 1-1 in the 9th inning. There was a runner on, let's see how that go. There was a runner on first, Moose McCormick. Merkle got a base hit, and that sent McCormick to third. And then Al Bridwell came up and got a hit, but Merkle failed to touch second, and which was kind of common in those days. But Johnny Everidge of the Cubs noticed that, got a ball, and got Hank O'Day, umpire, to call Merkle out. And that's the way the rules were in 1908. So Merkle thought about quitting baseball, and McGraw, he didn't blame him. He talked him into continuing playing, but for the rest of his life, Fred Merkle would not do interviews. He was a good defensive first baseman. He was very fast. Played as a halfback on a football team in Toledo, Ohio, and he had a long career in spite of it. Here's a pitch to Merkle. 36 is going to be a ground ball to third, 1 away. It brings up the catcher, Chief Myers. 42 is a ground out to shortstop. 6-3, that's 2 away. Bills Becker. 65 is a pop out to the catcher, Hick Cady, and that's the end of the second. For New York, we go to the bottom of the second. I hate when I do this. I forgot to change the scoreboard. It's second inning, 1-0 Boston. Jack Berry leads off for the Red Sox. 41 is a ground out to the shortstop, Art Fletcher, 1 away. Brings up the Boston shortstop, Evan Deacon Scott. 64 is a ground out to the pitcher, Rube Marquardt, 1-3. Hit Cady, the catcher, bats. 45 is going to be a walk. Ernie Shore, the pitcher. 26 is a ground out to the shortstop, Art Fletcher, 6-3. We go to the top of the third. Boston 1, New York 0. Buck Herzog will lead off for the Giants. 43 is a ground ball back to the pitcher, Ernie Shore. Throws over to Merkel, and there's over to his first baseman is Hablitzel. Put away. Bart Fletcher. 42 is the roll. 23 is going to be an error on the center fielder, Josh DeVar. Yeah, I got my defense. It's going to be an error actually on the center fielder, Tris Speaker. So Fletcher with speed will be at first base for the Giants. Rube Marquardt, the hitter. Marquardt will square around and bunt. 43 is the roll. 29 is the result. That's going to be a fielder's choice. The bunt went to the first baseman who retired Fletcher at second. 3-6. Marquardt's at first. Slow runner. They'll play it safe. And we go to the top of the order. And Josh DeVore. But there's 2 outs now. 1-5 is going to be at 11. That's going to be have to be a single on both the A column and the C column. He's an AC pitcher, and it is. Marquardt will only go to second because they're playing it safe. First and second. 2 away. Fred Snodgrass, and I think they'll not play it safe. See if Snodgrass gets a hit here. So they're taking off the safeness. Base running, 51. That's a 10, but it's going to be a ground out unassisted to the first baseman for the third out. Go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Boston. Harry Hooper leads off for Boston. It's a 56 roll. That's going to be a pop-up to the shortstop. It's got a Y modifier, but he's an X pitcher. So 1 down. Larry Gardner. 44 is the roll. That's an 8 against an A. Run out to the first baseman who flips to the pitcher. 2 outs. Tris Speaker. 65 is going to be a pop out to the catcher. We go to the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 Boston. Larry Doyle will lead off for the Giants. He was bought from the minor leagues for a record price at the time of $4,500. And he was so excited to play for the Giants that he took the wrong ferry across the Hudson River and was late to his first game. But he played and got 2 hits in his first game, but he did make an error. 1915, he won the American League batting crown with a .320 average. Here's the pitch to Larry Doyle, 21. Fly ball to right field, caught by Harry Hooper, 1 down in the top of the 4th. Here's Fred Merkel. 32 is the roll. That's a ground out to the second baseman, 4-3, 2 outs. And now Chief Myers. 26 is a ground out to the shortstop, caught by Everett Scott over to first, 3 outs. Go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Boston. Leading off for the Red Sox is Duffy Lewis. He is 0 for 1, grounding out to third his first time up. 42 is a swing and miss for strike 3. 1 away. Dick Hablitzel. 31 is a 9 against an A pitcher. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop, Everett Scott. Wait a minute. That brings up Jack Berry. The shortstop made the play is Art Fletcher. All right, 46 is a fly ball to right field. Bills Becker is under it, makes the catch. We go to the top of the fifth, 1-0 Boston. Okay, Beals Becker will lead off for the Giants. Might have mentioned before, but he's in for Red Murray, who was injured in the wild card game. Becker is from El Dorado, Kansas, and he went to Wentworth Military Academy in Lexington, Missouri, and he's the only person to ever attend Wentworth Military to make it to the major leagues. Here's the pitch to Beals Becker, 46, is going to ground ball back to Ernie Shore. Throws the first, Becker's retired, 1 out. Pitcher to first. Here is Buck Herzog. 31 is a 9. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. Shortstop is Everett Scott. 6-3, 2 outs. Now Art Fletcher. 25 is a base hit for Fletcher. It's a single on both the A column and the C column. 2 outs, fast runner at first. And Rube Marquardt, the batter. The pitch to the pitcher. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field caught by Duffy Lewis. There at Duffy's Cliff, there was a 15-foot incline in 1915 Fenway Park, just in front of the left field wall. 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning, 1-0 Boston. Everett Scott will lead off for the Red Sox here in the fifth. 62 is a ground ball to third baseman Larry Gardner. Nope, third baseman is Buck Herzog. 5-3, 1 out. Hit Katie. 63 is a fly out to center field. Josh DeVore makes the catch, 2 outs. And now the pitcher, Ernie Shore. Ernie Shore was sold to the Red Sox along with Babe Ruth from Baltimore's minor league team, and he was a roommate of Babe Ruth. And then he injured his arm in 1917, and he kind of preached as a preview of the sell-off. He was sold to New York along about 1918, before Babe Ruth was sold to New York. Didn't pitch very well because of the arm injury in New York, but Shore was good with Boston. When he retired, he ended up being a sheriff in North Carolina. Here's the pitch to Ernie Shore. 21 is the roll, swing and a miss for strike 3. That's the end of the 6th inning. We go to the top of the 5th inning. We go to the top of the 6th inning, 1-0 Boston. One more thing about Shore is he completes his warm-up tosses here on the top of the 6th. He, at one time, had a perfect game to his credit. Babe Ruth started that game and walked the first batter, argued ball 4 with the umpire, punched him in the nose, and was ejected. Shore relieved and pitched the rest of the game, allowing no base runners. But later on, years down the road, Major League Baseball changed that from a perfect game because of Ruth's walk. All right, 33 to Josh DeVore is going to be an 8 against the A. That's going to be a pop out to third base. 1 down. Fred Snodgrass. 54 is a fly ball to right field. Harry Hooper is under it, makes the catch. 2 down. Larry Doyle, the second baseman, is up. Doyle is 0 for 2, but in the wildcard game, he was 2 for 4, scored a run. 35 is a 9. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 1-0 Boston. Top of the Red Sox order, Harry Hooper leads off. 36 is a pop fly to the shortstop, 1 down. Larry Gardner, third baseman. Played on some championship Boston teams, also played with the 1920 Indians that played in the World Series. 41-28, that is a ground out to shortstop. Here is Chris Speaker. 54 is a fly ball to right field caught by Beals Becker. And we go to the top of the 7th inning, still 1-0 Boston. Okay, coming in the 7th inning, each team has only 2 hits. In basic APBA, I let starting pitchers go 7 innings, and then when 2 bad things happen to them, they start reducing their pitching grade. There's the pitch to Fred Merkle. The roll is 26. That's a strikeout for Fred Merkle. He is 0 for 3 today. Chief Myers. 1-6 is a ground out to the shortstop. 6-3, and bring up Beals Becker. 1-3 is the roll. That's going to be a walk. First base runner the Giants have had for a couple innings. Fast at first base. There were 2 outs. Buck Herzog. 45 is going to be 2 balls and no strikes. He has a Z modifier. 52 is a 27. It's going to be a ground out to third base for the 3rd out. To the bottom of the 7th, 1-0 Red Sox. Duffy Lewis leads off. 42 is a swing and miss for strike 3. Lewis is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Dick Huplitz. 56 is a pop-up to shortstop. There's a Y modifier. Let's see. Mark Ward has an X. So it's a pop-up, 2 outs. Jake Berry. 16 is a ground out to the shortstop. Top of the 8th inning, 1-0 Boston. Scheduled to bat is Art Fletcher, the pitcher Rube Marquardt, and then Josh DeVore in the top of the 8th. Ernie Shore is still on the mound. Completes his warm-up tosses. Here's the pitch. 6-6 roll. That's a hit column roll. 24 is a single. 7 is going to be a base hit. Fletcher is 2 for 3. He's at first with speed. Marquardt will hit and score around the butt. Try to get the tie and run the scoring position. And he will. It's the bunt is fielded by the third baseman, throws to the second baseman covering, 5-4. Fletcher goes to second where there is 1 out. So Josh DeVore will bat, 275 hitter in 1912. 43 is a 29. It's going to be a weak ground ball to the first baseman, and the runner goes to third. So score it 3-1. 2 outs. Fred Snodgrass, infield's playing back. Ernie Shore pitches. 53 is a 16 on fielding column 2, hit by a pitch ball. Puts runners at the corners. So best scoring opportunity the Giants have had in this game. There are 2 outs. And their best hitter, Larry Doyle, 330 hitter in 1912, followed by Merkle. They don't want to put the go-ahead run in scoring position. They're going to pitch to Doyle. Here's the windup. The pitch to Larry Doyle, 62, is going to be a ground out back to the pitcher over to first base for the 3rd out. So Shore survives the threat. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Boston's still leading 1-0. Deacon Scott will lead off the bottom of the 8th. 54 is the roll. It's going to be a fly out to the right fielder, Beals Becker. 1 away. The catcher hit Katie. 45 is going to be a walk. 1 out. Katie is a slow runner at second. Timeout. Okay, at this point, the Red Sox are going to make a couple of changes. First of all, Olaf Sweet Henriksen will be a pinch runner for the catcher. Bill Kerrigan will come in and catch the ninth inning for Katie. And a second change, pinch hitter for the Boston Red Sox will be Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth batted 102 times in 1915. He had a .315 average. And Red Sox are going to see if they can extend this lead a little bit. And Babe Ruth will stay in the game and pitch the ninth inning. Here's Markwart's pitch. 26 is going to be a swing and a miss. Strike three. Babe Ruth goes down with a mighty swing. 2 outs. And that's the top of the order now. Harry Hooper. .34 is a fly out to center fielder Josh DeVore. So we go to the top of the ninth, Boston leading 1-0. All right, Babe Ruth completes his warm-up tosses. He's one of the better left-handers in the American League. He will face, in the top of the ninth, Fred Merkle, Chief Myers, and Beals Becker. There's the pitch to Fred Merkle. 1-2 is the roll. That's going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. 1 out. Chief Myers comes to bat. 33, that's going to be a hit column roll for Chief Myers. 43 is a 11. It's going to be a single with an opportunity to steal second. Kerrigan's an 8 defensive catcher. And with rated slow, but he did steal some bases. He stole 8 bases, and that wasn't 11. Okay, so Becker is the batter. 11 through 24, he'll be, let's see, 11 through 23, he'll be out. 24 and up, he'll be safe. They need to get him in scoring position. There he goes. There's the throw, 31. He is going to be safe at second. So Chief Myers, with a clutch steal of second base here in the ninth inning, is in scoring position. Beals Becker will be the batter. Here's the pitch from Babe Ruth. 53 is the roll. 17 on column 2 is going to be an error. Run to the third. And it's an error on the Boston right fielder, Harry Hooper. So now we got Giants at first and third, tying runs 90 feet away. Batter is Buck Herzog. Boston will play their infield back. Try to get the double play. Here's the windup. The pitch to Herzog, 46, is a ground ball to the pitcher. He freezes the runner at third and throws the batter out at first. So now I got second and third. 2 outs, and Art Fletcher is the batter. Even though Fletcher is 2 for 3, I'm inclined to not walk him because there's 2 outs. I don't want to load the bases and then have a pitch hitter get walked. So we're going to pitch to Fletcher. Babe Ruth winds. Here's the pitch, 54. That's going to be a fly ball to Beals, to Harry Hooper in right field. This time he does make the catch, and that is the 3rd out and the end of the ball game. Giants threaten but don't get it done. Boston 1, New York nothing. All right, in today's game for the 1912 New York Giants, Rube Marquard lost an absolute heartbreaker. He pitched 8 innings. The first 2 batters got hits off of him, but after that, he only gave up 2 walks. But he is going to be the losing pitcher. In this game, the Giants scored no runs, 4 hits, and they committed no errors. The Red Sox had 1 run, 2 hits, and they committed 2 errors. The winning pitcher is Ernie Shore, 8 innings, no runs given up, 3 hits, a strikeout, and a walk. Babe Ruth gets a save. Rube Marquardt was the hard luck loser in this game. Not really any hitting stars. Gardner was 1 for 4. Speaker, sacrifice fly, drove in the only run of the game. And no offense put together by the Giants except for Art Fletcher, who was 2 for 3, but made the final out of the game with runners on first and third. So your star of the game will be Ernie Shore, the winning pitcher. Now, the New York Giants will go to the losers bracket. They'll play in Game 7 against the loser of the next game. Red Sox move forward in the winners bracket. They'll play in Game 5, the winner of the next game. And the next game is the Philadelphia Athletics, 1911, will be hosting the 1906 Chicago Cubs. Join us tomorrow for that, the second game in the winners bracket of the Dead Ball Era Division Tournament, double elimination tournament. Thanks for watching today. Have a good day, and God bless.